Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm gonna let a few more people in here, and then we'll get Rad in here and we'll get going. So if you're already in here, don't forget to go onto my Twitter and retweet this post, this tweet right here, to be entered into the first or the 1 trillion giveaway we're doing. All right. And then we're also going to do 2 merchandise giveaways again tonight. Good evening, Tracy. What's going on, David? Krugy, Crypto Cream, Scott, Mike. Just waiting on a couple minutes here and we'll get started. Let's see. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Rad in. We'll get going. Hey, Rad.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So
You guys had a
excited.
busy
This is a great
couple
weekend.
of days.
Man, I cannot even imagine how much Lee, Jesse, Ast, and all those guys had. I had a little insight to the back end right at the 11th hour, late last night. And I was like, man, I am so glad that I am not back there for that whole week. It was nuts.
Yeah. From what Lee was saying, everything that they were doing, and then last minute problems, everybody expecting, launch date this time and then no airdrops, right? So I know people were on edge. I mean, personally, I wasn't worried at all about getting my airdrop. But I know a lot of people were, Um, so do you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for Para and kind of how you
Aha.
started?
Yeah. Okay, so a little bit about myself. 42-year-old Australian born. Uh, I've been professionally online since I think 97, sometime around 97, 98. I did very, very well as a dot-commer in the early 2000s, became semi-retired sometime in the mid 2000s, and have been playing around with the internet ever since. Um, Recently got back into doing crypto. I am one of those very stupid people who got into Bitcoin when it very first started out and did stupid stuff with it, like buy pizzas. And we never thought it was going to go anywhere because nobody accepted it. So
Yep. Yep.
bad mistake. Wish I could get a time machine. So
You and a lot of
anyhow,
other people.
yeah, right. There's many of us to live to tell the tale. Sad but true.
Yep.
So yeah, I started getting back into crypto just late last year, as a matter of fact, and it wasn't even so much for myself, but my kids are getting older. I have a daughter who just returned home from Australia doing university. She was looking to do something, actually more in the NFT space, and because she's an artist. And my youngest daughter, she just got her first full time job. She had her own little side hustle businesses. She's an entrepreneur, and she had a little bag, and it was just 600 US dollars. And she asked mom, "Can you help me put it somewhere?" So I was like, "Okay, let me have a look around." There were a couple of tokens that I was holding, but I was just out there getting a feel. It's not to say that they weren't good; they're great projects, but you know, you shop around and see what's out there. And
Hmm.
I was on Twitter just looking at everything that came up, and I cannot even remember who it was. Just one of these big influences on Twitter said, "Hey, what are you guys shilling today?" And Metaverse was day one. Metaverse was in there shilling like a villain and dropped that Para
Hmm.
Inu logo. I saw
Yep.
it, and I've been in internet marketing long enough for 20 odd years to recognize quality when I see it. This didn't look like a $5 logo from, one of those little backdoor outsourced places. So
Yep.
it just grabbed my attention. And the whole military thing, yeah, very close to my heart for many, many reasons. So I clicked on it, had a look. And the first thing that grabbed me was that accounting sheet. And I know so many of you guys out there say that. Um, Actually waited a couple of days because I was still
Hmm.
feeling out the community, feeling out where it was going. Got my daughter's bag in before my own,
Nice.
and ran from there. And I was
Awesome.
just a really, really enthusiastic volunteer, and just worked my ass off, shilling, making memes. A lot of the stuff you guys share, the
Yep.
original stuff, OG stuff, came from me. Um, so yeah, and then it was just like, we got to get Rad on full time doing this. So
Nice.
that's what
That's
I
awesome.
do. I don't know if I have a title. Lee said he had one for me, but I just think like I'm chief ass kicker.
Nice.
I like
That.
to motivate you all to get out there and shell, answer
Yep.
questions. Pretty much in charge of Telegram for the community, which is basically where we all hang out right now. We do have a Discord though. We're going to try to
Yes.
pump that up a little bit more.
Yeah, I found that out the other day because I created a Discord not too long ago for just some people that were in another one to kind of come in and just discuss things. If anybody had any questions, kind of a safe space where people can come and just ask questions about crypto and
Yeah.
discuss investments and things like that. So
Hmm.
when I found out that Para had a Discord, I definitely went and joined it. So um, but I think this token
I'm too
somewhat
old for
shows us.
Discord.
What's that? What's that?
I'm sorry. I have a little bit of lag because I'm out in Death Valley tonight, which is I'm sitting outside. Yeah, I'm a little old for Discord, so we have some younger members, and my daughter's one of the people that's going to be helping to run that Discord.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So I think Para kind of shields itself, right? Because of all the things that
Yeah.
they're doing with it. One of the things, like you said, was the veterans part of it. My family
Yeah.
has a lot of veterans, it's active duty military. My dad's in here; he was military. Uncle, um, my cousin's still in 30 years Air Force. So to me, it was more of what I tell people of a personal investment rather
Hmm.
than just a financial investment, right? Some things let's
Right.
put $200 in and just hope for a pump and get $1,000. But this to me was way more personal, and like you said, it hit home for me a
It
lot
does.
more than most other things. So
Yeah.
and that's going to
Yes.
get a lot of attention. Just the veterans part of it, um, because who else is doing it,
Yeah.
right? So, um, like I said,
Not in the
that's just
crypto space.
no, definitely not. And there's so much money in it in crypto that there's a lot
Right.
that can go out to help veterans. And I don't know if it was Lee or somebody else, but it's a community that is forgotten about, and
Mm.
it's sad to see. So,
It
like I
really
said,
is. We have so many veterans in my family, in my direct family. I grew up watching my grandfather sitting on oxygen for 14 years after they told him that he had 6 months to live. He was a fighter pilot in World War II. He was in Darwin, Australia when the Japanese bombed it. He went through a lot. Um, but yeah, he had emphysema, which the I guess our version of VA traced back to something that they were putting in the tanks that the
Mm-hmm.
fighters, the pilots were breathing in. It wasn't
Breathing
just
in.
oxygen, and
Right.
it gave them all a mesothelioma. So yeah, I watched him not be able to do anything. Growing up as a young girl, my grandfather sat on a sofa on an oxygen tank, and that's all I ever saw him do. It was very rare
Mm-hmm.
for him to be able to speak a word. Um, I did not intend this at all coming into the AMA with you, but since we're talking about background, I've never talked about why this token means so much to me, but I just kind of felt inspired right now, and I'm going to share it. And if I cry, I'm sorry, but this is just a little bit of the reason why I got in on this
Okay.
token, particularly when I
Absolutely.
saw that it was for veterans. So I have never been officially in the service. I was in Army Cadets in Australia, which is, I guess, you guys have like a high school thing here. It's for
Yep.
teenagers, and you go do military stuff and you serve on weekends, that kind of thing. My daughter did it while she was in Australia too. I couldn't join in Australia. I was going to join reserves, but I spent so much time traveling around the world that I could never meet the full time residency requirement of like
Mm-hmm.
5 years straight in Australia. I was always overseas. So I did one time come 6 months close. And anyway, I couldn't meet residency. So whatever. Um, so the crux of it is that a few years ago, I married a man who was a Desert Storm veteran, and he suffered from severe PTSD. He had
Mm-hmm.
severe mental health trauma. And the things that my family went through, my heart went out to the man. I still have a deep, deep place in my heart of appreciation for what he went through, what he continues to go through. He spent
Mm-hmm.
many years in and out of psychiatric hospitals after coming home. And our personal life, I've only ever told this to Lee. In our personal life, there were many times when my husband would stand on a chair with a rope around his neck, and he would be on that chair for up to 2.5 days, and I'm trying to talk him down. I was a registered mental health care worker back in Australia. I have a degree in psychology. But even for me, that kind of stuff really takes its toll when you're standing in a kitchen watching a man with on a chair with a rope around his neck, and you are hiding a knife in the back of your pants ready to cut that rope because you
Right.
know he's going to jump. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And
Right.
it happened a number of times. Um, I don't ever want anybody else to have to go through that. I don't want wives to go through it. I don't want kids to have to see. My kids had to go through that. It was a really, really difficult time in my life. Like I said, I have a place in my heart for that gentleman, but I'm no longer
Mm-hmm.
married to him. I've since remarried. It's just not something that I could continue to go
Yeah.
through in my life as a mother. Different dads. That was their stepfather, but I couldn't continue to allow my children to be in that environment. It was very hard on me. So that's why this token particularly means so much to me, because I felt like it was never about the money. Crypto's great, but like I said, I've been semi-retired since I was in my 20s anyway, so it's not like I
Right.
particularly was worried about it. We get by very well. We've got our own properties here in the desert. We
Right.
don't have a lot of need for anything, but to make a difference in one person's life is just all I wanted to be able to do.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I have a friend that he was always like the tough guy, right, in our group of friends, and he enlisted into the
Mm-hmm.
army, and he went to Afghanistan and came back completely different. He couldn't sit through fireworks. He um,
Right.
just was never the same. Even now, he's still not the same. And that's when it really hit home for me. When my cousin went to, Kosovo and things like that when I was younger, I wasn't old enough to really understand what they were going through. He still goes through things.
Right.
Um, but when my friend came back and we saw what he was going through, it was very personal at that point, you know? So, yeah, you hear stories,
Yeah.
but when you actually experience it with somebody, it is just
Mm-hmm.
it's totally different. And I don't think people really understand PTSD, um,
Right.
unless you either have it or you've experienced some sort of it. So,
Mm.
like you said, to be able to change just one person's life, one veteran's life, whether it's building a wheelchair ramp or um,
Mhm.
getting them a van or something like that, it's to be a part of that, even as holders, is some of our money is going towards that. So
Right.
how can you,
because we
in
don't
my
all have the
opinion,
ability. Yeah,
right?
we don't have the
Exactly.
ability,
And
each of us, to be actively involved. But if we can, to give something in that form of monetary assistance to make something
exactly.
happen, we're still
Yep.
contributing.
Yep. And 3,000 people goes a long way than, say getting 20 people together. Cause, unless you have thousands of
Right.
dollars, it's just not going to go far. So,
Right.
when Lee brought this out, I have a friend of mine, a real good friend of mine, Kruger. I know you talked to him probably. Um,
Yeah.
when he shared it with me, I
Hi,
looked into it. And
Krieger.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm in. Like probably 5 minutes of research, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. And you know, I know I'm invested in Saitama, and they kind of started out with the whole
Hmm.
doxing and the transparency. And Lee was
Yeah.
like, I want to build a level of trust that no one's ever built before. And I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, um, yeah, it's just great. I mean, and after what happened with this migration, I've been through Impact XP, two migrations, um,
Right.
and there's not a lot of discussion about what's going on and why. So you're just kind of sitting there like,
Yeah.
okay, well this happened, we're doing this, or now we're changing the contract, and they're gonna get more tokens, and we're like, why do we keep doing this? But when he came out and did that
Right.
AMA the other night, he laid it all
Hmm.
out and was like, I talked to this guy, he told me that we should do this and
Yeah.
this and this, and I'm like, okay, at first, I'm thinking, here we go, just like everybody else was, and then he's like, we want you guys to send your
Sure.
tokens in. And I'm like, great. Now we're gonna have to answer, is this a scam like 1,000 times? Right.
Right.
Because that's how they do it, is you send them
This
in and then you never get
community,
it back.
yes,
So,
this
um,
community was so trusting and so
yes,
wonderful
yes.
that they sent these. I mean, there were people who were sitting there for days with zero tokens in their wallet, just with pure faith that they were
Hmm.
going to be getting new tokens in. And my God, I know it's super
Right,
scary because so many people have been on the bad end of a rug pull. So you
right.
guys are
And
freaking fantastic.
as soon as he started talking about what he was doing with the contract, I set mine in why he was still talking. I mean, I just had no thought about it. I know a couple other people did the same thing. So, and then when he started
Right?
talking about compensating for ETH fees, because I knew, again, I knew that was going to be a concern because it's not cheap. But when he started talking
Yeah.
about, doing ETH fees, I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't, who else would do that? I mean, no one else has done that. So, um, just fantastic. So,
Yeah, the process went very smoothly. I'm glad to say we really haven't had any aside from the general questions of where are my tokens? Oh, well, import the
mhm,
contract to your wallet. We really haven't had anything too bad happen. So there's
right.
a couple of people that bought in because they didn't realize, because that was just announced on Monday night. And so, hold on a second. Para, Para. I just got a new dog, and her name is Para.
I know I
Para.
saw that you made a post on Twitter.
she's Yeah, she's after coyotes right now.
Nice.
Um, Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, everything went really, really smoothly. It was just
Good.
so many people have been in voice chat today saying they've been through migrations and this was the smoothest, easiest that they've been through yet. They were just all very happy with the process. I'm going to mute my microphone while you're talking because
Okay.
Tara's
Yeah.
going off.
So one thing I wanted to ask, I was on the AMA, or the Telegram the other night, when they were getting ready to launch, but they couldn't do the airdrops. But I left before I heard what came of that. I guess, did they figure? I know they ended up doing the airdrop and then they launched, but did the dev go in there and change something, or what was the end result for that?
Um, there was some stuff going on like in the background. They couldn't get a hold of their guy because it was like 3 a.m. or something in Poland, and
Hmm.
he may or may have not fallen asleep. I don't know exactly what happened, but when you're dealing with something as global as cryptocurrency,
Hmm.
poop
Yep.
happens, guys. I'm so sorry, but no, there were a couple of other things that needed to be done. Just in relation to spreadsheets and coding and
Okay.
stuff like that. And guys, I got to tell you, it is crazy how much there are, companies out there that will assist with migration, stuff like that, and they charge astronomical amounts of money. I'm not even going to lay a number down, but we're looking really close to six figures, man. It's like crazy stuff. Um, and
It's
so
crazy.
at the 11th hour, the team calls me and are like, hey, can you help us out with something here? I had made mention of a program that I used to use back in the day. It's like 20 years ago, I was using this program. And I was like, hey, if you just automated it with this program. So they call me up at the 11th hour, pull me out of voice chat, and they're like, hey, Rad, can you give us a hand? How do you do those macros and stuff? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I haven't done it in like 15 years. So I'm sitting there
No
like
pressure.
absolute crazy woman. Yeah, no pressure at all. Everything's like riding on getting this done to get the airdrops out. And I can't make the damn thing.
Excuse me.
And I'm getting so frustrated. I'm like sweating. Seriously, I'm like sweating and trying to get it done. And what the team failed to tell me was that they actually had somebody somewhere else trying to do the same thing at the same time, and fortunately they beat me to it. I did get the I did get the what they needed over to them, but yeah, somebody beat me
But they
to
didn't
it,
need it.
and that was fine. You know what, I was actually happy at the end of the day that it wasn't on my shoulders if something went wrong, because that's what
Right.
I was most worried about. I was like,
So,
what happens if we get through? So we've got 3,300 wallets, okay,
yeah.
3,350, something like that. And
Yep.
I'm like, what if we get down to like number 20 and something doesn't match up and then it just nukes everything afterward and nobody afterward gets their airdrops? So this is how my mind is thinking, because I'm used to doing cron jobs. Anybody who's in the tech field knows what a cron job is. So I'm just thinking, oh man, I didn't sign up for this. I'm just this, crazy old volunteer who likes spending time in the chat room.
So you're like, I'm
Why?
just a telegram. I'm just a telegram lady. Okay. Just but
Right,
so
exactly.
when you handed in your stuff and they said, "Oh, we don't need it," you're God. Thank God.
Well, actually, a couple of the guys went off to see if they could get a hold of their original guy, because
Hmm.
we didn't know if he'd fallen asleep or not, and I'm trying to get a hold of them to tell them, guys, I've got what you need, and they're not telling me that. I didn't even know that there's somebody else working on it, and their original guy was on the job, and it all
Good.
got sorted, and woo, great for
Good.
me, because nothing
I
went
know it
wrong,
was.
and
It was.
it's
I tell
not
you
my
what,
fault. It's all great.
it was like semi heated in Telegram that night with people like, saying you should do this or you should do that, and I'm like, they're gonna figure it out. I mean, like you said in the chat, we'd rather postpone instead of half the people not get airdrops and then it launches and whatever happens, right? So,
Right.
but I woke up to tokens in my wallet and no big deal.
Right.
So again,
Well,
it
the one thing
just
that was
I
kind of a
think it
little scary, there was one point time that was a little scary. Anybody who's on who was on at that time will know this story. That so we left Sky King in charge of voice chat, and somebody got their airdrop, and they noticed it right away because they'd just been waiting, and they must have been refreshing their ether scan, whatever. They saw it happen, so they announced in the voice chat that, hey, I got my tokens, but since
right.
we could only batch out 500 at a time, there was still 2,800 people who hadn't received. So a bunch of other people are looking, going, don't have it.
Mm,
King, bless his heart, great guy. He's a wonderful admin. But he starts thinking, okay, it's a scammer who's, pretending that they've got their airdrop and they're going to try to link a
right.
wallet to somebody. So he started blocking people from the chat that were saying they had their tokens.
No.
But like, I mean, he did it out of out of a sense of security. So it was
Right.
a funny little, it's just one of those funny little things. But yeah, everybody got their token, so that was great in the end.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And it's one of those things where it was great of Lee. I saw him sitting there just kind of listening to everybody and kind of smiling at when people said this or that and just kind of taking everybody's opinions in. And then when they left and didn't come back for a while, I'm like, man, I guess I'll wake up and see what's going on in the morning. But it all, like I said, it
And
all worked out in the end.
be, I have to be completely honest. This is just my nature. So I tell you guys like the stories from the back end. That's like, you're gonna be so mad at me when I tell you this. So I'm literally sitting in Discord, right? Because this is going on in Discord. We're organizing there, and I'm looking at the voice chat, And I'm like, oh man, these guys like Mark D, Sky King, they've been holding the voice chat down for hours at this. I think at this point I'd been away maybe myself for like 3 hours. And I'm done, right? I find out that the team's done what they needed. They got the files. They don't need my files. I'm free to go back in there. And I'm sitting on Discord with a couple of the top team, and I'm just saying, man, I can't go back in there. If I go back in there, someone's going to ask me what's happening. And if
Yep.
I say soon, then it's just like, oh, she's here, but we're hearing soon. I would
Right.
rather that people thought any second now than to hear me come back and go, well, just wait a little longer, guys, because
Right.
we've been
Be
waiting
patient.
7 hours. So
Right.
I was, I had to look at it from a psychological point of view. I was like, what's better, any second now or Rad says soon? So
Right.
I didn't
Right.
come back in because I was
Well, it's funny because
sorry,
when I
guys.
woke up this morning, I got back in Telegram and you were in there, and I'm like, holy crap, have they been in there all night? And so, hats off to you guys for holding it down and staying in there and having somebody in there answering questions or keeping people, you know, calm. And, like Lee said, he's going to stay up all night if he had to. And it's awesome. So I did have another question from some people in the community.
Yeah,
Uh, the XT listing date, do you guys have a postponed date for that?
I was trying to get one before I got on, but I haven't received any word back on it yet. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. I was because they were going to try and launch the day after today, which would have been today, but I guess that probably didn't happen. So
That was the
hopefully,
initial plan, but that was based, so that was contingent on them meeting the deadline of launch that they had initially set, but we missed that deadline by
mhm,
7 hours. So it just kind of set things back a little bit. Sorry, guys,
yep,
that I don't have any more
that's okay.
information on that
I
one.
know
And
they need to do tests.
everybody's been patient till now.
They got to do
You've all been
testing and
so
everything.
patient till
So
now. Be patient again. That's all we're asking.
what's another couple days? No worries. A couple more days, not going to hurt anything. Um, Another question too is, do you know time frame on seeing values of the tokens in the wallet?
Well, that's completely contingent upon coin market cap. So, that's what most of the wallets are basing it on. So it's really just a matter of them getting their stuff updated. So, it should be sometime this
Okay.
weekend, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was what last time it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days if I want to, you know, something like that. So, and I didn't know. I guess some people were wondering if it was CoinGecko or Coin Market Cap. That was depending on which one. So, but now that we know it's Coin
Yeah, it
Market Cap,
depends on what your wallet utilizes exactly.
right? Okay, and then I think this is probably a question you're probably going to get asked 1,000 times. But do you know when the second airdrop is going to be happening?
That is the most common question I'm fielding right now. When second
Yep.
airdrop? I don't have a turnaround time on that. It's probably going to be in the next few days, guys.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are asking why do two airdrops. And seriously, with everything that I saw, just to get the original set of airdrops out, it was just so much simpler to say, let's get everybody their original tokens first, and we can deal with second airdrop later.
Yeah.
So like
Yep.
I said before, many of you sat there for days with zero tokens in your wallet and you had so much faith and you knew that it was coming. So again, we're just asking, just hold there. You know it's coming. It is. But the team's
Yep.
got so much that they're doing in the background right now. It's coming, guys. Like all good things, come to those who
Yep.
wait.
Yep. Yeah, and I agree. I've told a few family members and friends. It's like, hey, the second airdrop, it's not that important to me. I mean, yeah, it's going to come, but um, the main thing was getting everybody their tokens so they're whole, at least on their investment, right? Um, and then rewarding people for sending their tokens in. So I said, look at the second airdrop as more of a reward um, than anything else because you already got your tokens back that you had invested. So when it comes, it comes. So that's kind of what I've been telling people also.
Yeah, for
Let's
real.
see.
And it's a
Let's see if there's any
bonus.
more.
So nobody can complain about a bonus. Because, it actually costs the
Right.
team money to send that back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I agree.
And I know it costs you money to send it in the first place, but it costs the team, and so then money has to come from different wallets to send it back. So it's a juggling act, but it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, getting everybody their tokens back was, the most important thing right away, in my opinion. So I think like I said, just my opinion. I think they're doing it the right way. So, um, guys, do you guys have any other questions? Just looking through the chat here. Oh, is
Guys, I
there?
want to apologize for my dog because she was a desert stray dog that was like her mother was abandoned. She was born out here in the desert. I just picked her up 2 days ago. So she doesn't answer to me yet. She doesn't know her name yet. I'm so sorry.
It's actually not that bad. So I wouldn't be worried about it. It's not drowning out your voice or anything. So I think we're
Oh,
good.
not like my husband snoring last night on live chat.
My wife would be right there with you.
I was in another room. Everybody's like, "Who's snoring?" Somebody fell asleep with their microphone on, and for me, because I'm partially deaf, so I didn't really take much notice of it. And everybody was complaining about this person asleep, and that I realized, oh my god, it's my husband in the other room. I was on live chat, and he was like snoring through the whole thing.
Right.
Are we
So I
guys
think,
going to build?
yeah, go ahead.
I was just reading the question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So, are we going to build a blockchain for Para Inu? That's So the thing is, okay, so here's where things are going with crypto and blockchains. So I want you to imagine a piece of rope. A blockchain is like, I was looking around to see if I had one. A blockchain is like a piece of rope. It has a starting point and it has all these transactions that go in a chain, right? Like imagine, and
mhm.
then up to the end point, which is where you're at now on the chain. Of course, it goes longer, but so it's like one thing.
Yep.
Even if you twist it around, right, it's still just one continual line. So as you guys know, crypto blockchains don't really like to mesh with each other. That's why we have bridges. But then it's kind of sloppy and messy, and there's a lot lost in translation with doing that. So the way that things are going now is actually to a DAG system. And would you believe, for the life of me, I can't remember what a DAG crypto system stands for. Give me a second and I'll tell you what the DAG stands for. It is dun, dun, dun. We're testing my knowledge. It's a directed acyclic graph. Oh my God, that sounds really technical. So what does it mean?
It is.
So let's go back. Let's go back to my analogy of the rope. Okay, so this rope, it has a start, it has an end, and it's got all this, cord in the middle, like the blocks, right, on the chain.
Mhm.
When you have DAG, basically what it is like imagine a fishing net. The fishing net is like rope, but it's got that fish net, and there's sections where things come together, and then it goes out other ways and then meets up with other sections that come together. So this is basically the way a DAG system works. I'm trying to get this into the most basic layman terms because honestly, I don't really understand it that technically myself. This is just the best way that I explain it to myself. So you got like
Right.
this fish net of where like other chains can come in and then they merge together and go out other directions. And with all the crypto tokens that we're seeing out there, I think on Ethereum there's something like 16,000 tokens, like crazy number. And then of course there's other
Mhm.
types of chains like Binance chain, whatever. So rather than trying to bridge those, the DAG systems allow them to mesh into
That's
that
true.
fishnet and interact with each other. It's as simple as I can explain it, guys. But that is so it's funny because I started reading about this and I was like, this is a fantastic idea. I should send this to Lee. This is like on the first week of Para Inu. So I send him this big long explanation of it. I was like, you should look into this. This is fantastic. And he's like, oh yeah, we're already doing that. We got this like going on in the background. We're gonna do one of these things. He's so ahead. He's so ahead of everything. So that's what we're going
That's
to be
awesome.
having,
Yeah.
guys. And it's the best I can explain it. I'll drop it in our Telegram, what that stands for, and then you guys can go and Google it because you will
Okay.
find YouTube videos and stuff to explain it probably a lot better than I can.
Okay. So he's doing the DAG bridge instead of a blockchain, pretty much, is what they're gonna do.
Well, it's like a DAG is like a blockchain and a bridge in one. It's like they're not independent of each other, as far as my understanding of it. But like
Okay.
I said, go and do your own research on it because it's actually really interesting and it is the future of the internet. Because with all these tokens and all these different metaverses, going to be seeing a
Yes.
lot more of DAG in the future.
Yes. Yeah, because what they're trying to do, from my understanding of the metaverse, is they're trying to figure out a way to, like you said, mesh them together so you can go from one to another. Because you're going to have this metaverse and this one, and so you won't be able to readily just hop from one to another. You'll have to get there somehow. So like you said, that's gonna you see a lot more of those. Let's
And for
see.
those people, especially the ones that like gaming, if you're like, because NFTs is the future of everything with like online gaming, if you
Yep.
buy some weapons or whatever that you're playing in a game like Call of Duty or Halo, whatever, and then you want to go to another metaverse, you don't want to have to like buy a whole new set. You've seen the price of some of these NFTs? Holy cow! My daughter was like looking at racehorses that were $4 million. Like,
Yep.
are you kidding me for an NFT? But
Yep.
you want to be able to take that across to these different metaverses, right? So that's just where DAG comes in. And
Yep.
we've got the licensed NFTs coming up, which potentially could be used for something like that in future. That's some really exciting stuff. I was at SHOT Show last week, and that's what I was doing. I was actually cold calling all of these manufacturers of all kinds of tactical gear, um, and I'm just walking up out of the blue and asking them, "Have you guys ever thought about getting your products into the digital realm?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, have you heard of NFTs?"
You mean-
"Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. That's art, right?" And I was like, "Well, it can be so much more." So then I explained to them about how they can get their products into NFTs, which can be used across metaverses and stuff like that. Of course, using Para as the stepping stone and working with us and our artists and developing their licensed gear as
Right.
NFTs. And these guys are so excited about it because, first, they don't have overheads because it's just like it's generated
Digital.
in digital, right? And
Right.
they can get royalties because if I buy a rifle from somebody and I sell it to my brother, the company doesn't get a cut on that. They're like, wow, we can get commissions forever on our gear. These guys love it. They're all over it.
Yep. Yep. I agree. And he was talking about NFTs with body armor companies and rifle companies and all that stuff. And of course, that we're into we've always been into firearms and things like that. So that would interest me, collecting that type of stuff. People do some great art for NFTs, but if it's not going to make me money and I don't necessarily like it, it's kind of hard for me to buy it unless it's collectible, right? So
I
if
got
I
to
can get
tell you, it was so exciting to be there, looking around like I'm literally like shopping for myself. I'm like, I really like this rifle. I really like this knife. That gas mask is dope as. I want an NFT of this. So I'm just like
right,
going up and pitching that in the hope that I want one of these one day. So it was a lot of
yep,
fun, actually.
that's cool. So the second airdrop is going to be in tokens, correct? I just saw this question, so it's going to be in tokens as far as we know.
As far as I know, but it actually hasn't been made official yet. So
Okay.
it remains to be seen.
I think that was kind of the consensus with a lot of people, was that's just easier that way. Send me $60 in para. You know, now send me $60 in para when it was at 3,900, not 7,800 though. Okay, so tell Lee that, would you?
Um,
Because I'll get
and
more.
there may be so this
Um,
question about the second airdrop being in ether, it may be going back to a misunderstanding as far as I know it, that when the token when the original token got set at 99% tax and Lee announced it, um, there were a couple of people that made buys not long
yep,
after he made that announcement. They really did not know. And so they bought these tokens that were just essentially becoming useless. And so
yep,
he had said on air that he was going to send ETH to, it was a set amount also, guys. There was a set amount of people, up to a certain time, which might have been like midnight that day or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But, just because there had been no warning to those
right,
people and that he was going to fix them up. So I think that somehow has been misinterpreted to everybody's going to be getting ETH. Which
So
of course it sounds fantastic, but
right.
that's got to come from somewhere. So
Yep.
yeah,
So he was pretty much just kind of reimbursing people for buying after the taxes changed then.
yeah, the ones who did so immediately. At
Right.
some point there has to be a cutoff, otherwise people are just, I mean, we have just people trying to buy 64 quadrillion tokens for $9, and hoping that they're going to get an airdrop of the same amount in new tokens. That's just, come on, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So cool. We kind of answered this one just now,
on
so that's
to you
cool.
guys. Yeah.
So all right, let's see if there's any more. We might just get to our first giveaway here in a second.
In respect to this question with LG Crypto asking this, send us. You can DM me on Telegram and send me your transaction hash, and we'll take a look at where that happened. If it happened early enough, then of course, if you were one of those people who bought when there was really no forewarning because the announcement had just been made very, very soon to that time. Yeah, but at some point, guys, there has to be a cutoff because like everything on the internet, you have to do your own research. If you see that Para Inu tokens are selling like quadrillions for a couple of dollars and you're not asking yourself why, I know personally, if I was walking down the street and I saw a Ferrari for $1, I'd really question why that Ferrari is $1 and I probably wouldn't be buying it. So I think we all get where I'm going with this. Yes. Next question.
Can you hear me, Red?
Yeah, I got you. You froze up for a second there, but I got you.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but this is probably a popular question as well. I've heard it a few times. Has Para applied to be on SideMask?
That is a question that I honestly cannot answer. Just like you guys, I know who the first listing is. That's xt.com. And I do not know who the three are coming after that.
Okay.
One of the
I
great things
know.
about working with Lee is I will actually tell him, Lee, do not tell me anything. When I met with him in person in Las Vegas, he wanted to tell me a bunch of stuff. And I said to him, look, don't tell me because one, I'm terrible at keeping secrets. And two, I'm invested into this token and I like surprises too. So
Right.
there's kind of that
Yep.
aspect of it. I
Cool.
don't know,
And
guys.
then,
I just know that we're doing a marathon and we have four listings in 4 weeks. So one each
yep.
week for 4 weeks. But who they
Cool.
are, you're gonna find out when I do. I don't know.
It's exciting though. I mean, the cool thing is we don't know who the listens are, but we know they're coming, right? Nobody else does this, and I think, just because launch may have been delayed, but I think existed in a couple of days. But one thing about SideMask is, one of the requirements is to renounce the contract. So I'm going to say probably not be on SideMask until the contract's renounced. I know Lee's talked about it, but hasn't given a time frame on when he wants to do it yet. So
Yeah.
I would say a few
The
months,
renouncing thing
maybe.
is quite a big deal.
Yeah,
It's
it
a big
is.
deal.
It
To
is a big
renounce or
deal.
not renounce, and I mean, there's two sides to the whole pros and cons of that. But I mean, when you're dealing with like fully doxed teams and you know why renounce?
Right. Well, and it disables you from doing anything with the contract. So, like what they're, being able to change anything.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand
Well,
both
and the
sides
whole
of it.
yeah, I mean, the whole
So,
reason they changed the contract was because there were certain things in it that they couldn't change, right? And it's like, okay, for example, one of the biggest things that was the reason behind, because a lot of people ask why new contract. One of the biggest reasons was the very first place exchange that we wanted to get listed. They needed to be able to whitelist, and it wasn't available in the contract. So it was like,
yep,
oh, one for one, we can't list on an exchange. That's going to
yep,
have to change. So
yep,
it's a good reason to not renounce.
yep. I agree. So I saw this question from Shaq. It brings up kind of a good topic. I know they they were looking at buildings or something in Telegram about doing some type of, I don't know what it was for, like some locations for something. So this is what kind of brought that up. I didn't know if you knew anything about what they were talking about. Um, but
I mean, I know what they were talking about, but is it official? It's not. Um,
okay.
so basically, what that is, I mean, uh, we had this whole discussion at the beginning of this conversation, you and I, about what this means to us, this token, and helping
Right.
veterans, and that's pretty much one of the big reasons that most of the people are involved in this token. And so, yeah, what, we're dreamers. We're all thinking about what do we do when we get to X billion market cap, and what can we do to help veterans. So if you saw any of that stuff going on in Telegram, then chances are that it was some of us, just people have different ideas. I think about getting Lee on Joe Rogan's show. Other people think about, let's open a clinic because I saw this piece of real estate down the street that's
Mhm.
an abandoned hospital or something.
Right.
There's nothing official yet. As far as charity works go, so Lee has always said that he wants to do a 5013C. That's the IRS tax code for a charitable organization in the US,
Hmm.
for those who are overseas
Yep.
and not aware. But opening your own charity, which I have done this in the past, it does take time. We have
Hmm.
some members in our community who've done this recently, and they are saying that it currently takes about 18 months to get that done.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Yep.
my dog's just. So, obviously, we're not going to sit for 18 months because, especially in crypto, everybody wants now, now, now. When are you going to do something for veterans? There's a lot of scams out there too when it comes to the veteran community.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Yeah, we're going to support veterans," and what, they put a bumper sticker on their car, like, come on, what
Yeah.
are you actually doing for veterans? So the fastest way to make that happen is by teaming up with already existing charitable organizations, which we're going to be doing our first life changing event. Hey, come here, Para. You wanna say hi? So that's going to happen next week. We're going to be doing our first charitable life change event, and we're going to be working with I believe, a number. I'm not going to put out different names. We have one charity that we're definitely going to be working with next week, and there are more. I mean, we're pretty. One of the great things about not having our own charity right now means that we're not limited as to how we can help veterans, because we can work with different charities who do different things. This is a very important thing that came up um, during that whole 7 hour of waiting last night, that the veteran, people go, well, why aren't veterans being helped? Which is a serious question, but we also have to
Yep.
look at veteran problems are people problems. Okay, just like you and I, we wake up in the morning, we think about where are we going to go to work because we need money, because we need to eat, because we need a roof over our head, because we have kids to send to school. So these are life issues, and veterans have these life issues just like you and I, but with so many other factors that are for whatever reason different. And so it's very hard because how long is a piece of string? There's so many variations to everybody's life, so it's very, very hard to kind of put it down to, we can help veterans by just doing this one thing. you
Right.
know Homeless veterans, we can build a house, but how's that going to help the person who needs a new prosthetic leg? So there's many, many aspects to helping veterans, and so it is really good that initially we're working with these different charities, and we can, as a community, even decide on things that we want to do. Where it's going to go long term, we've seen throughout the last month that Lee is very, very open to listening to the community.
Hmm.
And it's the community's money. He says this so many times. It's the community's money. So I'm pretty sure that we're all going to have a say in how that gets used. Do we have enough money to open a clinic for veterans? Can we do it? Do we got the property? All right, let's make it happen. I'm sure that it's on the table if and when we get that kind of money going, and the opportunity arises. Me personally, I'm not ruling out anything being possible at this point, but
Right.
there is nothing official in that respect yet. Come
Okay.
on, Para.
Well, and let's keep in mind it's only like 3, 4 weeks old, right? So
Right.
that's another thing. But on the other hand, they are coming out with a governance token as far as voting. So yes,
Yes.
we will have a even greater voice, or a more official voice, I guess I should say, as far as that
Yeah.
stuff goes. So that just tells you right there that he cares what we think about what's going on. So again, that's
Absolutely.
just another great thing to do. Um, okay, so before I go down to the next question, I'm going to do the first giveaway from the retweet um,
Give
from
away.
this
Give away.
tweet, guys. So if you haven't tweeted it, let's see. It looks like there was one more. So
If you
let's.
haven't tweeted it, I'm going to kick you in the butt. What
There's
are you
34.
doing,
It's not
guys?
bad.
What are you doing?
There's like there's a few more than last time, so that's good. All right. So if you haven't retweeted it, tough.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
All right. So
We
guys,
got
after we do this, I'll write you guys down, and then please DM me on Twitter, so I can and get a hold of you guys and get this sent to you guys. All right. All right, you guys ready?
while you're setting that up quickly, I just want to make a little request to our whole community. We love you guys being in Telegram. It's a great place for us to come together, celebrate the token, ask questions. But sometimes, guys, sometimes y'all are preaching to the choir in there. I see a lot of you in there with let's go, let's go. We're here, man. We need you guys out there in Twitter land shilling for your bags.
Yep.
You got to bring in, if we can all bring in one more person, boom, tomorrow, 6,000 holders, boom, 12,000 holders. Get out there. Make it your goal every day to get out there on Twitter and find one more holder.
Yep. Exactly. And if you guys go to my Twitter, you see, Rad sees it all day. I'm constantly posting stuff on there. It's because I believe in the
Hey,
project,
sweetie.
right? So I'm not just trying to make myself money. I want the project to succeed, and I want to be able to help people. So, all right, here we go.
She chewed her leash off.
Oh my god, my dog does the same thing. That's
Two-day
me.
puppy.
Let's do it again.
Oh my God. I tell you what, since you came up, I will personally send you a piece of merch.
Well, can it be the new merch?
Serious,
Because
man.
I was going to ask you,
Well,
we
no,
got.
and this is what I was going to say. Yeah. So I was going to say that, guys, because I have access to the back end of the merch store and I sometimes help to put stuff together. If anybody wins a merch giveaway, I will give you the choice of vintage. Can we really say vintage? It was like a 1 month. Okay,
It's not even a
vintage
month.
Para Inu. Right, no, vintage Para Inu, never to be seen again. Or you can get the new Para merch, which everybody's gonna have.
So it's going to be one like this. Because it's funny. I was telling Kruger the other day. I'm like, great. They changed the name a little bit. Does that mean I'm gonna have to get with Rad and see if she can send me a new hoodie then? Because we just got these. Like, dang.
See,
right.
you made the wish and it happened. I'm gonna send you a new one because
Awesome.
you won.
I'll wear it every day. All right, here we go. We're gonna do this another time. Hopefully, it's not me again. There we go.
If
E
it's you
Perry
again,
1007.
okay. All right. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you won 1 trillion tokens.
You okay? You're on high alert, huh?
Okay.
Even those are gone.
Okay, so we're gonna do 2 merch giveaways too. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and just do it from this same retweet. So let's go back
Give me
and
kisses.
we'll do it again. And then we have looks like we have Crypto Cream wants to donate another trillion to do for the viewers. So what I'll do is I'll create a new.
Fantastic.
Yep, he did it last week too. So I'll create a new tweet for pretty much everybody's in here. You guys go retweet that, and then we'll do another 1 trillion from that. All right. So this time we're gonna do 2 winners. I'll do a substitute just in case one of them's me, so we know how well that works out. All right, you guys ready to do the merch giveaways?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, so we got Yes, Diamond Hands, and Harris. I've talked to him a few times. Congratulations, guys. Okay, so
Oh
everybody,
yeah, Paris is in a lot.
yes, he is.
Active person. Yes. Congratulations.
So again, you guys message me on Twitter so I can get you guys' addresses and stuff, and we'll get those sent out
Yeah, and like
probably
I said, if you
tomorrow.
guys want the vintage merch or the new merch, if they can just let you know and you can tell me and we can hook it up either way.
Okay,
Get
sounds
the
good.
vintage. Nobody else has got it.
Vintage is cool.
I swear, I had a T-shirt that it's the only one in existence because I made it in the back end of the store and never put it in the store, and it arrived the day that Lee announced that we were rebranding, and I was like, well, this is a true one of a kind now. It's never ever going to happen. I was thinking I might put
Frame
them
it.
in the store later on, but yeah, I haven't worn that one yet. It's
Frame it.
probably going to just get framed. Oh,
Okay, so here's the tweet here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of had it already. Just did it a little bit ago. So
you okay?
I'm gonna go ahead and tweet this. I'll pin it to the top of my page so you guys can find it. So go retweet that. Everybody's in the chat. We just want to reward you guys for coming out tonight and watching and asking some good questions because everybody always has some good questions. So we'll give it, I don't know, a couple minutes.
So now I'm going to turn the tables. Alex, crypto
Yes.
for starters. Tell us about, you can tell I'm a YouTube host. Okay. So tell us about crypto for starters. How long have you been doing this?
Okay, so I've been doing crypto since last April, so not even a year. A friend of mine tweeted something about SHIB back then, and I messaged him and I'm like, "Are you talking about Doge?" He goes, "No, I'm talking about Shiba Inu," and I'm like, "Huh." So I looked into it because I, kind of dabbled in Doge a little bit and started looking into it, and that was right before Shiba Swap was coming out. All that hype around Shiba Swap. Oh, it's going to do this. Oh, it's going to do that. So I started buying in little at a time and ended up getting to about 130 million, which at that time was I guess, quite a bit for the price it was at. It was at 5 zeros and a 7 when I started. Um, so, but the hardest part about crypto was nobody wanted to answer any questions that I had. None. I messaged people um, looking for help on things like how do I do this, and the friend of mine that got me into it didn't really know a whole lot about it. So I started doing my own research, stumbled through a lot of it. Um, some people say you haven't cryptoed until you've been rug pulled. I've been rug pulled. Um, so that's a lot of fun. If you haven't done it yet, try not
Oh,
to do
sure.
it. It's not great. So I
Stay with
started,
Para. You're safe. You're
yes,
safe with
stay with
us.
Para. So I started this channel and just started doing things like how to create a wallet and, like I just did the video the other day about how to import a token into MetaMask and Trust because believe it or not a lot of people know how to do that. It's not hard. They just don't know how. And if there's nothing out there for people,
Right.
then, they may do it wrong and not get them or whatever. So I wanted to, like my description says, I want to help people to figure things out in crypto. And that's why I did a Discord. If anybody wants to come in, just let me know, answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I know some people now that probably will know the answer. And then I was listening to a Your Pop stream and somebody had mentioned Saitama. So I went and looked into Saitama and bought a little bit. It was cheap at the time. Probably I got 250 billion and I'm like, dang, I'm good. That's a lot because I was new, right? It took me
Yeah.
thousands of dollars to get 100 million of SHIB. And then as things started progressing, I started buying more and I'm like, okay, I want to get to 1 trillion. That was my goal. And then of course my wife was like, this is stupid. It's fake money. It's this and that. And, I'm like, that's okay. And, one day Saitama started to pump and she called me on my way to work and she goes, I think we should put more money into this. I'm like, all right. So we started pumping more money into it. And She watched the chart the whole day. The whole day she watched it and was texting me, "Hey, we're here." And so now we've been trying to do things together. We kind of wanted to do like a crypto couple type of thing, and um,
Oh, great.
so
That would be
we've been
so
trying to
good.
do. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that do it, but um, we were both off work for a couple months, and she's since gone back to work. And we got sick, and I lost my voice for a couple of weeks, and we just kind of stopped content. But um, hopefully, we can start doing some more because her main thing is like, hey, if you guys need to be on the same page as a couple because it makes it a lot easier um, as far as
Absolutely.
investing goes.
There's a
You know,
reason
so
that there's a reason the timeshare companies in Las Vegas make sure that you have your partner with you at that timeshare presentation because no big financial decision should
right,
not have your partner involved. So
right,
it's really funny. Like I mean, there's so many. You see the memes about the guys whose girlfriends just don't get it, and it's really funny because in my house it's the opposite. So I'm the wife that's really into online things and crypto, and my husband has no interest in money at all. Everything, every dollar he gets when he comes through the house, he just puts it in my hand. He doesn't care about money, and
nice. Nothing wrong with
so it was really funny. Like I've been on. There was one time I was online, and we were seeing a bit of a skyrocket all time high on the token, and and I stayed up far too late. And about 3 in the morning, my husband wakes up and is like, in his grumpy voice, "Are you coming to bed? What time is it?" And I'm like, "It's 3 a.m. in the morning. And before you start, I made, I'm not even going to disclose, but it was tens of $1,000s while you were asleep." And he's
it.
just
Yep.
like, "Oh, go back to the
Never mind.
computer."
Right. Right.
So
Yep. And
that was his turning moment and into, "Oh, I'm very interested in crypto."
so yeah, that's my
I think
wife.
that
I didn't.
he thought it was a passing phase. Yeah, he thought it was a passing phase.
So I didn't know she was on here, but now I'm probably going to be in trouble. But
Oh, you are
that's
in so much trouble. You are in so much trouble. I would really love to see y'all do this as a team, though. I think it would be fantastic.
I think it'd be fun.
I love
Like I
that.
said,
I love the husband and wife banter. Yeah.
there definitely would be banter because my dad's on here, I think too, and my brother was on here last week.
Wow.
So it's funny because we got into crypto. I got into crypto and then started getting some of my family in. And I haven't talked to some of my family this much in years. So it's like Julie's sister and her husband. We talk to all the time because we discuss things like this. And so in a way, it's kind of brought our family a little bit more back together because we live in Kansas City, near Kansas City, Kansas, and my parents live in Illinois, and my brother lives up by
Mm,
Wisconsin, and um, so we're all kind of scattered. So it kind of gets us talking about
right.
some things. So it's nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, 24 retweets. So let's do it. I did not retweet this one, so I shouldn't win. Just letting everybody know.
Maybe I'll win. I didn't retweet. I'm just kidding.
Send these tokens back. All right.
Winner,
There.
winner, chicken dinner. Who do we have?
Do it. Let's go. Good luck.
Three, two,
FG Crypto for
one.
life. He was the first one in chat.
Oh my
Is he still
God, for
here?
life. So, guys, I get to throw up my OG gang sign. This is like really internet 2002 stuff. For life.
Crypto life. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, poor dog. Poor dog.
So I think I saw
Oh.
one more question. Yeah, thanks, Darius. I don't know if you've probably not met Darius before,
Yeah, I
but
mean, I'm happy to take questions. I don't know how long
let's see.
you're staying here, but I'm telling you what, guys, I'm not going to sleep until we drop that zero. I've told you
Ooh,
that all day.
are you going to be
Not going
waiting
to
around a
sleep.
long time for that or what?
Nah, man. Do you see the chart?
I, you know,
I mean, we were
I'll
like
be
high
honest.
eights. We were high eights when I drove over here to be on this chat, and that was
I will
hours
be
ago. I
honest.
think
Since
we're going to be
this
good.
did what it did, I stopped watching the chart for a while. So uh, let me see if I can find it real quick.
because we, like I said, we relaunched at where I just actually think a fraction higher than where we stopped. So it was like high threes, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw six, and then I saw
So it's
seven. I posted in Telegram 777 lucky sevens because I'm in Vegas, right?
whoa.
And then this afternoon I saw high eights, and
Hey,
I'm telling you, we're going to kill a zero.
the old one's
Oh,
up
that's old
16,
one.
20, 26%. How did that just change? Are people still buying it? Guys, don't
I
buy
don't
the old one.
know, but
Don't. If it says any,
guys,
don't
don't
buy
buy
it.
the old
I'm
one.
telling you, don't
I mean, you
stop.
can if you want. I mean, it's your money, but do the
It
research.
keeps
Come on,
it
guys.
keeps going back to the old one.
Really?
Yeah, that's weird.
I can
Para
share my
token.
screen.
Stop because I haven't clicked anything,
Let me
right?
refresh. Uh huh. I like that this
There we go.
software, because I use the same software for my stuff. Lets me share the screen now. Never the guests used not to be able to share the screen.
Okay, so
We're
it's
at seven
staying.
nine thirty three right now. We must have consolidated. I think we
Yeah, a
consol.
little
Yeah, we
bit
did.
looks
We
like.
consolidated a little. We were up at high eights. That's
Yeah, I
healthy.
see that
That's
right
fine.
here.
That's just fine. People want to go, let them
Actually,
go.
it looks like
Nobody's
it
a
almost
hostage
hit.
here.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, I'm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we went high
it's great.
eights, 7-9. I'm still happy with that. But I guys, this weekend that zero has to go. I'm not settling for anything less, and I will not sleep until that zero is gone. I'm going to be in that
You know,
telegram, talking your
what's
ears
funny
off,
is I can't
telling
tell
you
you how
for a
many times
show.
I talked to Kruger about like, oh, I'm gonna buy some more because it's not gonna go lower, and then it was going lower, and I'm like, okay, I just want to keep buying more. I feel like I'm addicted to buying para. It's
It's
horrible.
because you're looking at that long term.
Well, I know what
But
it's
it's
gonna
just,
do. I
it's
mean,
different mindsets, man. It's different mindsets, and it's horses for courses. Some people are just in tokens for the pump dump, whatever. Just take it
oh,
and go on. That's
here's
fine.
one. Here's one. That's a new one.
Do we still have burns after 500 new holders? I do believe that when we hit the next 500, we're going to have a burn. After that, I don't know. There has been some talk in the past about increasing it to maybe every 1,000.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure, but I know that we were supposed to have one at the next 500, which I don't know. Should we have a look and see how many holders?
That's where I was just going.
Yeah,
It said 33.95 on Dex Tools, but I know there's a
yeah. You got
little
to
bit
check
variance.
Etherscan. Yeah, you got to check on Etherscan as well. I mean, we should be coming up pretty close. And then I'm almost certain that we're having a burn at that next 500. After that, again, Lee will probably refer back to the community, see what you all want to do. That's what I love
Yeah,
so much about this. It's so community based.
it is. It's weird. It's not coming up.
Huh.
So here, it's not coming up with holder count. Interesting. Can
I
you find
look,
it?
but I'm trying to hold my, I'm trying to hold on to my dog right now.
Yeah. Let me see if anybody else has it.
A little Houdini escape
33.78 on
artist here.
Etherscan. Fred said 33.78.
Okay, I mean, so we're still, yeah, we're
So
not
it's
far. We're just like
it
one
says
Benji
less
away,
than,
right?
yeah, like 100 and just little over 100 away. So
Yeah.
because he was wanting to get to a certain amount, right? Like 70. What was the percentage he wanted to burn total? Was it 75%?
Man. I think it was 75%. I think
Yeah.
we got to be
So
getting close. We got to be getting close. Yeah.
yep.
The
Give me just a
zeros
second.
got to go, guys. I'm not going to wait for an exchange. I want it gone.
Man, it was awesome when it took the zero off last time. That was a great thing
I
to
know,
see.
right? That all-time high was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Merch giveaway on me. Oh, Krugi's gonna give away some merch. Are we gonna give away more?
We're giving away more Cookie.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, okay. He wants to do another one on the live viewers. I gotcha.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
that'll be
we'll just do
great.
this again.
We got to reward the people who turn up live.
That's right.
Hey, once you get a few subscribers in here, man, you'll be able to you could monetize your channel and do the super chats and all that good stuff, and then you would have more money for Para.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do for super chats is I want to
You
use
can
the super chats
launch it.
for ETH fees to send the para too,
There you
because
go.
I did
Yep.
4 giveaways last week and it's not too bad. Did I stutter? You're funny. All right, we're gonna do one more merch giveaway
Awesome.
for people in the chat. Remember,
It's
guys,
like
if you
Christmas
win,
every day at Para.
message me. That's right. Danger Noodle 86. I like that name.
I've seen that name around. It's very it stands out. Danger Noodle.
See it in the Telegram. I'm sure.
I've seen it around.
Yeah.
Maybe Twitter too. Yeah,
All right, guys. If you have won, please DM me on Twitter.
it's great.
All right. Well, let's see
So
if there's any more
awesome.
questions, and then I mean, I guess we have all night with you, right? Because you're gonna stay up till the zero goes off.
I'm gonna
That
stay up for I don't know, man. I don't drink coffee, so I don't get that burnout. People drink a lot of caffeine and they go, but then they burn out. I don't get that.
huh?
So I don't do caffeine. I'm too sensitive to it. So I just what did I say today? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like snorting Bobby Bybots. That's my high. I'm just show me that green line.
Oh, just terrible.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions?
If anybody
That's
asks,
that's a
let
good
me drop a
that's a good
swag.
idea. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so high train money value. Um, we're thinking a few days. I know last time I got in by the day after launch, no value. It was a couple days after that, so it's just kind of up to coin market cap, is what Rad told us earlier. So might be a couple more days.
Yeah, Coin Gecko, Coin Market Cap, just whenever they get it together. Oh, hopefully this weekend. That would be nice, huh? But
Yeah, that would be
if you
nice.
guys since you're crypto for starters, for people who aren't aware, there is a it's an app and a website. It's called Zerion, Zerion, Zerion.io. You could bring it up on screen now if you like.
Yeah, mouse is not
I
crawling.
personally have not used the app version, so I can't attest to the
Is
awesomeness
it
or not of
how
the
you
app,
spell it?
but I use the website. Z, like for zebra, Z for zebra, Z. I say Z, I'm Australian. Zerion, I think is right. Zerion.io. Please tell me I got that right off the top of my head.
If you want to travel,
Oh, of course I didn't get it right. Hold on, I got it on my. Da, 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 da. I'm having one of those brain
here.
moments where
Dot
it's
is
got
it
to give me a minute
Zerion.io?
sometimes.
Is this it?
Yeah, .io. Yes, Zerion.io. So yeah, you can connect your wallet. I haven't done that, and I don't like connecting my wallet to things unless I'm about to do a transaction. So I just go to there's like you can press on the demo version there,
Mm-hmm.
and so you see here it's giving you like a demonstration of how their site works. If you go up to the
Nice.
wallet there, you see the little graphic of the wallet. You can click on that on the left side, up top left. Okay, so see the little graphic that looks like a wallet. Okay, if you click on that, it should have track any wallet.
I wonder if it's because it's a demo.
No, I always use this one.
Connect, manage. Huh, that's pretty cool.
They have a space in here where you can just put any wallet, just like you would an Etherscan. Let me
Mm-hmm.
go here myself. .io. So just like you would put your address into Etherscan, you put your wallet in here without actually connecting it,
Right, right. Just put your wallet
and it'll
address
tell
in.
you what's yeah, and it'll tell you view a demo. Hold on, I'll go in there so I can see it.
Let's see.
Uh, yeah. So
Mark
I don't
said,
know how I did it, but I did it. It's definitely in that little arrow next to the.
huh, wow.
Oh,
See?
here. Okay, so what you do is okay. Here's exactly how you do it. Okay, this is crypto for starters. We're all figuring it out together.
That's
Okay,
right.
so
I'm learning.
up the top there, up the top where you've got that little 8-bit graphic, there's a little arrow. You click on this arrow. It tries to trick you. It says connect another wallet. You actually do click on that, but we're not going to really connect the wallet. So click on connect another wallet, and then a page is going to come up. It says connect to Xerion, and
Yep,
you can connect your wallet there. I don't do that. Like I said, I never connect unless I have to. But you see, this has this section here: track any wallet.
yep,
So all you have to do is put your, your little wallet address code in there, and then press the button. And now it will bring up your wallet, and it'll show you exactly what your US dollars are.
so that's just, I might have to do a video on this, mess around with it a little bit because
Yeah.
I had no idea. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't have, as I said, I had no idea.
Honestly, I didn't know about this one either until just I can't remember who it was. I think it was Mark D brought it up in chat sometime this week. This is another great
Yep.
reason to be hanging out in voice chat, guys, because we you can learn a lot of stuff in voice chat. Some of these guys in here are like they're sharks. They're crypto
Mm-hmm.
sharks. Forget the whales. These guys are crypto sharks, man. They're like on it. They know what's going on. They've got all these handy little features and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get into voice chat sometime and just listen. You don't have to talk. I mean, we love if you do, but even
Right.
if you don't, you're going to pick up so much information. I swear, if you just take like a whole day and sit in there and listen to people, oh my God, it doesn't even have to be an our Telegram. Go to some of the bigger ones, and you'll learn so much. Or you can watch Alex's videos, which I highly recommend because he's the best. And I got to thank you, man. Like you've been making some great stuff. People come in the chat and they ask us, "Hey, I don't know how to connect my wallet. I don't know how to transfer my tokens." Blah blah blah. And we're like, "Yeah, we'll get a video made." And before we ever get a video made, because I always intend on doing one, you already have one. You just like pop up with one.
I
And I'm like,
try.
"Alex is awesome, man."
I do try. It's like I said, I had to learn it all myself, and I think I've learned a lot in less than a year. But then I talk to people about it, and I'm like, wow, I know. I thought I was a newbie, and then now I don't feel like I am. But then I talk to somebody else, and I'm like, crap, I don't know anything. So I think everybody's constantly learning. But man, there's a lot of good people out there that will share things. So, but yeah,
Yep.
I'll make a video on anything that people need help with something.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
make a little one on this, man. I mean, it's literally like a 1 minute thing. Just go here, press this,
yeah,
press that.
well,
Because
there's a lot here.
that's where this. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I haven't even discovered all the features yet. I just look at it to see what my cash is worth. So that's it.
That's a good idea, Mark.
I
You
got to
just
get
said
into that.
to pick a wallet and just start learning. Oh,
Aha.
There, yeah, he's
See, the
here.
man with the plan. He's the one who sent me onto this. So yeah,
Yep.
thanks, Mark.
Well, this is cool too. Zarion notified me about the para airdrop. That's cool.
That's probably how people were picking up on it. Those
Yep.
people who were in the voice chat that Sky King was like, "Are they for real?" They might have been getting notified by Zarion.
Yep. I think so too. That's cool. I'll have to look into that. It even shows gas fees too, so that's nice.
Well, actually, I'd probably be interested in something like that because I would hate to receive a random airdrop from an unknown somewhere that was actually like a sniffer or something. I would want to be notified if I received an airdrop.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna look into this.
Well, I wish I told somebody a long time ago. I wish there was a way that you could accept things coming in. So if a dust coin was coming in, you could just decline it and it's gone. But
Yeah,
because I'm tired
yeah,
of. I have a wallet. My main wallet I started with, I'm gonna have to junk it because I have so many that I'm gonna have to just close it and do a new one because I'm tired of looking at
yeah,
all that crap. So,
for
all
real.
right, guys. Well, I don't think we have any questions unless anybody else, the questions on the chat. But we did all of our giveaways, so I think we'll end it. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes, so we'll go
Yeah,
and shut her
we
down.
did
But
good.
Rad, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's only my second live, so
That's,
you know,
oh, really? Well, I'm
yeah,
looking forward to seeing more of these. I like to tweet out and let people know that you're going to be here, and I like them to watch your instructionals as well. So,
appreciate
like I said, I don't want to no sleep till zero gone. So, I'm going to head over to voice chat. You guys can catch me there. Para's
it. Yep.
actually settled down. Can you? Of course, right? Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
dog barked the whole
Well,
way through, and then yeah.
I'd
Sorry,
love to
guys.
do a live when it's pumping, and kind of see it going. We did a lot of that with
Well, I
Saitama, but
mean,
I'd like to do it with Para too.
well, I'll tell you what. If I catch wind of when we're going to get our listing, I think let's do a get together and cover the exchange going live. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be an exciting time, and that's when we're really going to see that big pump. And yeah, if you want, I'll come back and we'll just have a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's
we'll do
been
some
fun.
giveaways, and
Yeah.
Para can bark her ass off again. And
Yep. Maybe we'll get some more rad stories from you on the next one. Since the funny thing is you only
awesome.
told that story to one person, and then now there's 33 other people that know it. So all in one
Yeah,
telling.
there you go.
So
And anybody who watches this later on, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I just felt like it was good to share. Everybody's been
yeah.
sharing their stories in the last 24 hours, so it's like, yeah, it's good
Yep.
to share.
And no, it's great to hear what people how they connect with this project, and why
Yeah,
they're invested in it besides just um, money wise. So
yeah. Got me choked up again.
I know when I was talking about a friend of mine, I was just
Yeah.
it's hard, but all right, guys. Well,
Yeah.
we'll end it here before
Thank you,
we make Rad
everybody.
cry again. So
Could you tweet the list of winners? I'm sure Alex will. And
yep, yep. I will tweet out a list and then um, just congratulate everybody, but um, we'll let you guys know when we're going to do this again. Hopefully, maybe next week's listing, we'll get on here and
um,
do a live.
as
And
soon as we get a listing, yeah, as soon as we get a listing announcement, I will PM you, dude, and we'll get it set up. But until then, I'll see you when listing.
sounds great. Thanks, Rad.
Enjoy. Good night,
Have
guys.
a good night.
See you all in voice chat.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys all coming out tonight and watching the live. Um, like Rad said, as soon as we get a listing, we'll come on here and we'll do another live and watch that baby pump and do some more, possibly do some more giveaways. So watch out for that. And again, I appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button before you leave. We'll get it out to everybody. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time.